We can see the astronauts are now working with SpaceX suit technicians and the closeout team. And that's our commander, Shane Kimbrough.
There's Megan McArthur getting helped into her gloves in her spacesuit. And Mission Specialist Thomas Pesquet will be making his second trip to space. But that's Akihiko Hashide having a laugh with some of the suit technicians. There's Shane Kimbrough, pilot Megan McArthur in the front, Megan blowing kisses. Thomas and Aki ready for their ride to the space station. And here they come, the Crew 2 astronauts taking their first steps outside before their journey to space.
Yay!
I love this moment. They're now going to have the opportunity to wave goodbye from a safe distance. And it looks like Bob Behnken is there and with the son of he and Megan McArthur.
ONC departure on schedule.
All right, so we just heard that announcement that the crew has departed the operations and checkout building on schedule. And we can see the astronauts inside the crew access arm. Commander Shane Kimbrough, here he is climbing inside Crew Dragon Endeavour. We call this process ingress.
We now see suit technicians will help the crew members get buckled in. As you can see, the side hatch has just been closed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Mission and liftoff. Godspeed, Endeavour and Crew 2.
Copy, 1 Alpha.
Endeavour launches once again. 4 astronauts from 3 countries on Crew 2, now making their way to the one and only International Space Station. The vehicle is pitching downrange, 9 Merlin engines on the first stage providing 1.7 million pounds of thrust. Hearing good calls on first stage performance so far.
Plus 30 seconds into the second rotational crew mission on board Dragon and Falcon 9.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Earlier today at 5:49 a.m., NASA and SpaceX Crew 2 mission blasted off from Kennedy Space Center's Launch Complex 39A. The Crew 2 mission is the second crew rotation flight of the Crew Dragon spacecraft and Falcon 9 rocket, carrying NASA astronauts Shane Kimbrough and Megan McArthur, JAXA astronaut Akihiko Hashide, and ESA astronaut Thomas Pesquet to the International Space Station. My name is Jackie McGinnis, NASA Press Secretary, and I'm joined here today by Acting NASA Administrator Steve Jurzczyk, Elon Musk, Chief Engineer at SpaceX, Kathy Lueders, Associate Administrator for NASA's Human Exploration Operations Mission Directorate, Steve Stitch, Manager of NASA's Commercial Crew Program, Joe Montalbano, Manager of the International Space Station Program at NASA, Hiroshi Sasaki, Vice President and Director General of JAXA's Human Spaceflight Technology Directorate, and Frank Javinna, Manager of the International Space Station Program at the European Space Agency. Each speaker will make brief remarks, and then we will open the lines for questions from the media. For reporters on the line, press *1 to get into the queue to ask a question. Please remember to state your name and media affiliation before you speak, and address the speaker you'd like to answer your question. Please only ask one question and address one per speaker at a time. You may enter the queue again and ask additional questions. First up, we'll hear from Acting Administrator Steve Jurzczyk.
Hey, thank you, Jackie, and it's just great to be here today. So first, I want to thank and congratulate the NASA team, SpaceX team, and our international partners. What we do is really challenging, but also rewarding, and we could not do it without our commercial and international partners. So thank you and congratulations. Watching a launch from Kennedy Space Center never gets old for me. I've watched many launches, and watching a pre-DAW launch is especially exciting and just visually stunning. And this launch was, and a little bit different for me this time as acting administrator. But again, I'm just congratulations to the team. I could not be more proud of the team. It's been a really incredible year for NASA, for all our mission areas, but particularly for human spaceflight with 3 launches in 11 months. And it's hard to believe it was just 11 months ago, last May, where we were in the room we were watching the launch from today and doing the first flight readiness review for a human exploration mission in just about a decade. And then we did the Demo 2 mission. And it's just been incredible to be a part of it. This marks many important milestones, but it really is important for getting a regular cadence of crew to the station and back. And it's going to really accelerate the research and technology development that we're able to do on station. And I'm really looking forward to what Crew. I've really enjoyed watching what Crew 1 has been able to accomplish, and I'm going to really enjoy what Crew 2 is going to do on their 6-month stint on ISS. It took 10 years to get here to achieve this bold vision we had for commercial crew, and again, it's been amazing what the team has been able to accomplish. What we do on ISS is important, not only for the research and technology development that we do for here on Earth, but also to prepare for what we're going to do in the future. So ISS is not only important for our commercial activities in space and stimulating those, but also for our exploration missions. We'll continue to celebrate the marvels of the International Space Station and the science and technology development that it'll be conducting as we look to the future of sending astronauts to lunar orbit and eventually the surface, and then our ultimate goal of sending astronauts to Mars. So coupled with our robotic exploration and our Earth science missions that look down at Earth, I'm proud to be a part of this team that makes it all happen and look easy. And I can assure you it is not easy. But we have an incredibly talented team at NASA, along with our commercial international partners, and I know they've gotten the job done this last year, and I know they're going to get the job done moving forward. So thank you.
Thanks. And now we have Elon Musk, Chief Engineer at SpaceX.
Thank you. I think actually Steve said really all the really important things. I'm just really proud of the SpaceX team and honored to be partnered with NASA and helping with JAXA and ESA as well. Just thrilled to be part of advancing human spaceflight, and looking forward to going beyond Earth orbit to the Moon and Mars, and helping make humanity a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species one day. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we have Kathy Lueders, Associate Administrator for NASA's Human Exploration Operations Mission Directorate.
Wow. I mean, I think I'm just always amazed at the NASA and in particular the SpaceX team that diligently stepped through and got us ready to fly once again. And really want to thank Elon and the team from a HEO perspective, and thank Steve Stitch and Joel here, who have been working really hard to keep this cadence going. It's a very, very, very exciting time for human exploration right now, just like Steve said. Joel every day advances science and technology on the International Space Station, and that has really been enabled with the activities and the flights that SpaceX has provided for us over the last 11 months, like we said, and the commercial crew team has been working to keep that science and technology development going. Joel's had a busy month. We were talking the other day about he just had a Soyuz launch, a Soyuz landing. Now we've got a commercial crew launch, and we're going to be obviously working through and making sure we get the 4 crew members there and safely to station. But then Steve and Joel are going to be getting ready for a Crew 1 landing with the SpaceX folks. So very, very, very exciting time for us. In addition, we've got a core stage coming in next week. which will be joining the solid rocket motors that have now been stacked in the VAB and the Orion spacecraft that's now been fueled, getting ready for our first Artemis 1 uncrewed demonstration mission. So we're going to be working and getting our exploration system ready to go, and very, very excited about that. In addition, last week we had announced to SpaceX the Human Landing System Demonstration Mission 2. So this is, when I took over for HEOAA, I thought, after that Demo 2 mission, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be missing out on these fun missions, but really I kind of have the best of all worlds now, with all the cool missions that Joel and Steve, the Artemis team's doing, and further missions going forward to Moon and then eventually Mars. So very, very exciting time for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Now we have Steve Stitch, manager of NASA's Commercial Crew Program.
Thank you, Jackie. As I watched the video play before we started our opening remarks, it's just reflected on the last 2 years. As Steve Jurzczyk said, we have now 3 crewed missions in just over 11 months. And when I think about and watch the video, I just think about the team that we have between NASA, Commercial Crew, and SpaceX. An incredible team that refurbished this Crew 1 booster that just flew our Crew 2 team to the space station, refurbishing the Dragon spacecraft over these last 10 months, and just all the hard work across the country from the SpaceX team, the NASA team, and certifying it. I was thinking about some of the meetings we have, and SpaceX and NASA work so well together. At times during these meetings, people will finish each other's sentences. One person on the SpaceX side may say something, and NASA knows exactly what that person is thinking. It's just tremendous teamwork. Dragon's doing well in orbit. The crew is out of their suits right now. The crew is in the middle of a meal. They'll go to bed this afternoon here about 2 Eastern and sleep until about 10 p.m. And then they'll get in their suits Saturday morning at about 2:50 a.m. Eastern time for the final rendezvous and docking, and they'll make contact about 5:10 a.m. Eastern with a final docking around 5:23 a.m. So kind of a busy time for the crew and the ground teams as they look over Dragon. As I said, Dragon is doing very well. Today the weather cooperated. We moved the launch one day. We looked at the abort weather, and the downrange abort track wasn't very good for Thursday. We moved that launch one day, and the weather just cooperated great today. The vehicle improvements that SpaceX embarked upon for this flight, adding capability to handle onshore winds today was the difference really in getting off with the onshore winds. With the vehicle we had for Crew 1 and Demo 2, we would not have gotten off. The countdown was very smooth. We worked a couple of things, checking out a cover on the Draco thruster and making sure the hydraulic system was ready to go. But other than that, the countdown was extremely smooth today. A lot of people worked very hard to put that together. And then, as Kathy alluded to, it's a busy time for us. We'll get the crew docked on Saturday, and then after we get them safely on board, we'll start to focus on the Crew 1 return. And preliminarily, we're looking at undocking on Wednesday, April the 28th, at about 7 a.m. Eastern time, and the targeted touchdown is Tallahassee with a landing on Wednesday, April 28th, about 12:40. It's a busy time for us. It's an exciting time. It's the first time we've done this direct handover, and I'm just really proud to be part of the team.
Thanks, Steve. Now we have Joel Montalbano, manager of the ISS program at NASA.
Hello again. That's just an outstanding launch and a great way to end the week. We're excited to have another commercial crew mission on board and in space coming to the International Space Station. And these missions allow us to keep our utilization and research program, our technology development for Artemis, and our low Earth orbit commercialization activities on board the International Space Station moving forward with an incredible amount of steam. These missions, they enable these activities on board. So we're excited to have it. We're also excited to have 11 people on board after docking, and it'll only be a short time, but it's something that we've been preparing for, and we're looking forward to it. After launch, we did inform the crew on board the International Space Station that we had a successful launch, and company was on its way. They did pass congratulations to the team on the ground, And I'd like also to pass my congratulations to the Commercial Crew Program and the SpaceX teams for just an outstanding launch today. Thank you.
Thanks, Joel. Now we have Hiroshi Sasaki, Vice President and Director General of JAXA's Human Spaceflight Technology Directorate.
Thank you for the introduction. I'm Hiroshi Sasaki, a Vice President for JAXA, responsible for human spaceflight and space explorations. First of all, on behalf of JAXA, I would like to express my sincere thanks to NASA, SpaceX, and all staff who have been working for these missions under the severe COVID-19 situations. As reported earlier, the Crew Dragon was launched into the orbit nominally. The mission sequence is still going on, but I'd like to congratulate all of you on the successful launch. I have already seen Crew Dragon launch for Japanese astronaut Soichi Noguchi last November, and I am so delighted again to be part of the team here today. It is really a great pleasure, not only for me, but also the Japan, that the two Japanese astronauts, Soichi and Aki, on board the operational flight of Crew Dragon twice in a row. They will meet together at the ISS. I believe this is brought by the very close tie between Japan and the US for many years through the ISS program. Aki Hashide, on board the Crew 2, will contribute to the Expedition 65-62 mission as a commander. I hope he will jointly create fruitful outcomes together with his fellow astronauts, working also very closely with colleagues on the ground. During these missions, JAXA is planning to perform various scientific and technical research, such as the protein crystal growth for medicine design, contributing to the people on the ground, and demonstration on enhanced water recovery system, preparing the future exploration mission as well. JAXA is also going to hold a robotic program challenge with NASA to inspire young people around the world. I am looking forward to see that Aki will contribute to those activities through the great teamwork. I believe the Crew 2 mission is a symbol of international and industry partnership. 4 crew members from NASA, ESA, and JAXA on board Crew Dragon, launched by the SpaceX. I believe it's the first time that NASA, ESA, and JAXA astronauts flying to and stay for long duration at the ISS together. Human space activities are really a great global endeavor that people pushing the human boundaries from the LEO to the moon and even beyond. I am confident that the international partnership is truly important, and Japan will contribute to take part in this human endeavor by making the best use of our expertise, such as ecosystem and transfer vehicles. We are going together. Once again, congratulations on the successful launch. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, we have Frank Davina, Manager of the ISS program at ESA.
Thank you, Jackie. What a great day, and what an excitement to see the 4 crew members and, of course, our ESA astronaut, Thomas Pesquet, launch on Crew Dragon to the International Space Station. It's a great time for us. We have permanently now 4 USOS crew members on orbit, meaning that the crew time that we have available for science and utilization has drastically increased, and we thank the partners and of course SpaceX and NASA, but all the international partners to make this happen. Thomas will have a busy schedule. On the 15th of July, we will also launch the MLM module with our colleagues from Roscosmos, and on that module will be the European robotic arm. And so Thomas will also be involved in the commissioning and the checkout of this European robotic arm that we have been waiting for long to launch to the International Space Station. And after Thomas, we will have Matthias Maurer that will launch in the fall of this year, and after that, Samantha Cristoforetti. So for the first time, we will have 3 ESA astronauts in a row that will be permanently on board of the International Space Station. So really great times to come for the European Space Agency. All the science technology that we do, it's of course for the benefit of people here on Earth and for humankind. But it's also to prepare for the future. ESA, together with our colleagues from JAXA and Canada, are part of the Gateway program. We are looking forward to further work with NASA on those programs, to have our ESA astronauts fly to the Gateway, but not stop there. We also want to have in the future our ESA astronauts walk on the surface of the moon. So exciting times to be in human spaceflight, and really looking forward to further enhance this great international cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you. As a reminder for reporters on the line, press *1 to get into the queue and ask a question. First up, we have Marcia Dunn with the Associated Press.
A gorgeous launch. For Elon, could you describe your emotions at liftoff, and does it get any easier for you on a personal level being responsible for lives after 3 crew flights? Thank you.
Yeah, it's very, very intense. I suppose it does get a little bit easier, but it's still extremely intense. And I usually can't sleep the night before a launch, and that's just true of the night before this one. So I haven't had much sleep. But fortunately, we've got a great team that are really, really proud of the incredible work the team has done in partnership with NASA. And yeah, I suppose it gets a little bit easier, but still pretty intense, I have to say. Yeah. It's hard to believe that we're here doing this, quite frankly. Feels like a dream.
Thank you. And now we have Bill Harwood with CBS.
Thanks, and again, congratulations to all of you for this launch. 3 Crew Dragon flights in less than a year is quite a record, and I guess for Mr. Musk, I realize this current flight is less than 2 hours old right now, but can you tell us anything about the schedule for the next flight, the Inspiration 4 launch schedule? And one question I think a lot of us have is how do you do that flight without working with NASA? I mean, in terms of crew quarters and suit up and facilities in general. Thanks.
Yeah, well, I think we'll still be obviously coordinating with NASA, and that'll be sort of a free flyer mission with a kind of a big kind of glass dome in the front instead of a docking adapter. So it should give quite a different feel for, like, you should really feel like you're in space more than one, because it'll just be you just surrounded by glass or acrylic technically, but. Yeah, so yeah, we're looking forward to that mission. But obviously, still be working in coordination with NASA for that mission. So that should be, hopefully, like as the name suggests, inspiration. And actually, I think that's the thing about human spaceflight is that it's one of those things that makes people excited about the future. You look forward to wake up in the morning and think, hey, what's going to be great about the future? It's like, man, if we're out there and we're a spacefaring civilization and visiting other planets and there's exciting plans, I think that's what gets, one of those things that gets people fired up, Yeah, certainly gets me fired up, obviously.
Thank you. Now we have Eric Berger with Ars Technica.
Hi, good morning, and congratulations to everyone on this. A couple of questions. First of all, maybe for Steve Stitch, can you comment on the fact that, in less than 4 years, I guess, or it's been about 4 years since SpaceX first launched a Falcon 9 rocket for the second time, the SES-10 mission. Has it been a rapid process to try to get to the certification of the Falcon 9, previously flown rockets for crew? And Elon, can you comment on the Human Landing System award last Friday? How important is it to SpaceX that NASA showed that kind of confidence in Starship? and is now talking about using the vehicle for the moon and potentially Mars. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take the first question regarding the certification of the Falcon 9. You know, for the first flight for Demo 2 for Bob and Doug, we had gone through a certification of the rocket for one flight. So we had started to understand the systems. We actually follow the whole fleet of all the flights that SpaceX flies. SpaceX has been a great partner in sharing data in every single flight, and we were able to look at the performance. So over time, we started to understand how the engines perform, how the rocket itself performs. And then in a partnership with SpaceX, we went through and looked at every single piece of the launch vehicle, the engines, the structures, everything about the re-entry and the heating, and we were able to, in about 10 months, go through on the order of 400 or so certification products. In addition to those products delivered by SpaceX, we also did our independent analysis of certain key components from a structural perspective. We looked at the heating for entry and did an independent assessment of that to make sure that we were comfortable with the margins. And so it was quite an extensive effort in 10 months by our team, and an incredible partnership between NASA and SpaceX.
And Elon?
Yeah, it's a great honor to be chosen by NASA to return people to the moon. It's been now almost half a century since humans were last on the moon. It's too long. We need to get back there and have a permanent base on the moon. I think like a big permanently occupied base on the moon, and then build a city on Mars and become a spacefaring, like a spacefaring civilization, a multi-planet species. We don't want to be one of those single-planet species. We want to be a multi-planet species. So, yeah.
Thank you. Now we have Irene Klotz with Aviation Week.
Thanks, Jackie, and congratulations. That was a really exotic launch this morning. For Elon, how will the funding from HLS impact your design and development and schedule for Starship, and what's been kind of your technological challenges with the project so far?
Well, I mean, this has definitely been really helpful, funding the Starship program. It's mostly been funded internally thus far, and it's pretty expensive. As you can tell if you've been watching the videos, we've blown up a few of them. So excitement guaranteed, one way or another. So it's a tough vehicle to build because we're trying to crack this nut of a rapid and fully and rapidly reusable rocket. And I apologize, I'm a little slow on the uptake here as I'm going on not much sleep at all. But the thing that's really important to revolutionize space is a rapidly reusable rocket. That's reliable too. So that's really what needs to happen. If that can be done, then the cost of access to orbit and beyond can be reduced by potentially a factor of 100 or more. So that's really what is most important about. It's got to be done by somebody's got to do this. And if you have rapid and complete reusability, then that opens up. That is the gateway to the heavens. That's what matters. That's what we're trying to get done, and the support of NASA makes a huge difference.
Thank you. To media on the line, just a reminder to focus your questions this morning on the Crew 2 mission. That would be greatly appreciated. Next up, we have Joey Roulette with The Verge.
Hey, thanks, Jackie, and congrats everyone on a good launch. This question's for Elon Musk. From your perspective, I was just wondering if you are plugged in or if you have any idea what the holdup on getting an agreement with the Russians for flying cosmonauts on Crew Dragon is. Would you like to see cosmonauts flying on Crew Dragon sooner than later? And since HLS was mentioned earlier, I was just wondering how soon will Starship be able to put humans on the moon? Thanks.
I do not have any insight with regard to the cosmonauts, but of course we would be honored to fly cosmonauts on Dragon. But I do not have any insight into any potential objections. I'm not. Perhaps this may be just a communications breakdown. I don't know, but I don't have any insight into it.
Yeah, I'll help out with that. I mean, we're actually working through the agreements right now, and I think people understand. And I think we talked about this in the post-FR news conference, that people understand the importance of, crew swaps for supportability of ISS, and so we're working through that and getting that agreement in place. It takes a while sometimes. I found out there's lots of people to coordinate with, so doesn't happen as fast probably as I want it to, but we're working through it.
Thank you. And now we have Stephen Clark with Spaceflight Now.
Thank you, and congratulations to everyone. My question is for Elon Musk as well. This was the first time you've launched astronauts on a reused Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon, although it's far from the first time you've done that for, overall through your flight history. I'm curious, as you develop Starship to focus on that rapid full reusability as you're flying your manifest with Falcon 9, how many missions do you think you can get out of a Falcon 9 booster? And is that something you're willing to push the limit on to, keep flying one until it breaks, or for a Starlink mission, for example, or do you see like a plateau or a ceiling in terms of flight number for a Falcon 9 booster going forward?
Well, there doesn't seem to be any obvious limit to the reusability of the vehicle, and yeah, we do intend to fly the Falcon 9 booster until we see some kind of a failure with the Starlink missions, obviously, just to have that be a life leader. And we're just actually talking in the control room, we're talking with the between SpaceX and NASA, and we're like wondering, what's the optimal number of launches for, do you want to be on a brand new booster, or, well, you probably don't want to be on the life leader for a crew mission, but it's probably good to have a flight or two under its belt for the booster to have flown, once or twice. I think if it was like an aircraft coming out of an aircraft factory, you'd want the aircraft to probably have gone on a test flight or two before, you put passengers on. So, I think that's probably, a couple of flights is a good number to have for a crew booster. And in the meantime, we'll keep flying the life leader. We've got 9 flights on one of the boosters. We're going to have a 10th flight soon with a Starlink mission. And we're learning a lot about reusability, and it's a hard problem for rockets. I mean, there's a reason it's really, right now, Falcon 9 is the only partially reusable rocket being flown, with the booster coming back and the fairing coming back, but we don't reuse the upper stage or the Dragon trunk. And so with the Starship, we're aiming at just like hopefully reuse the whole thing. But this is a hard problem for rockets, that's for sure. And it's taken us, we're like 19 years in now. But I think we can see the Starship design can work. It's a hard thing to solve, and the support of NASA is very much appreciated in this regard. I don't know. I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work.
Thank you. And next up, we have David Curley with the Discovery Channel.
Hi there. Sorry, unmuting. For anybody, NASA or SpaceX, was Bob Behnken allowed to leave anything for Megan in the Dragon? And Elon, it's been a long journey with the HLS and everything else. On the arc of what you're hoping to do, are you going faster or slower? I know you had some frustrations early, but where do you see bigger picture we are and where we need to go? Thank you.
I guess I'll take the question of Bob. I don't know of anything specific that he left for Megan. Certainly left a lot of love, tenderness, and care of that vehicle while he flew it, and you know, for me as the program manager for Commercial Crew, it's pretty exciting to see, you know, Bob having flown that vehicle for the first time, testing it out, and taking it for a spin for his wife Megan, and she gets to take it for a little longer. So it's kind of cool to see the two flying the same vehicle, and the first time that we've reused that vehicle. So.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if people saw the zero-G indicator this time, which is this cute fluffy penguin called my first penguin. It's this cute fluffy penguin that's floating around in zero-G right now. I don't know if there's a picture of that, but it's kind of cute. And then, let's see. I mean, it's been 19 years since starting SpaceX, and certainly a lot of adventures along the way. Some tough times and a lot of good times. I'd say it's only recently though that I think that I feel that full and rapid reusability can be accomplished. And I wasn't sure for a long time, but I am sure now.
Thank you. And next up, we have Jeff Faust with Space News.
Good morning. Question for Elon Musk. It took years of development to get the Crew Dragon to the point where you could have a successful series of missions like Crew 2 this morning. At what point do you think Starship will be ready to start carrying people? Thanks.
Well, I think we are trying to keep these questions to, more limited to this, this mission, but it's difficult to speculate with respect to, I don't know. If I tend to be, as you know, I tend to be somewhat optimistic with respect to schedules. I feel I should acknowledge this. So take that with a grain of salt. But I think it's not out of the question that it could be ready to fly people in a couple of years. Obviously, we need to not be making craters, Yeah, otherwise it's like, hop in, we're going to Mars. No, not quite, not yet. It's got some work to do, but making rapid progress. I think we got to make sure we're accelerating the rate of innovation, and then it could be ready in a couple of years.
Thank you. Now we have Eric Niler with Wired.
Greetings. Congratulations to everybody. Senator Bill Nelson mentioned a 2024 timetable for a lunar landing through HLS during a confirmation hearing on Capitol Hill, and I'm just wondering from Elon whether that's kind of a crazy talk, or is that something you feel optimistic about?
I think that can be done. Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to build a lot of rockets, and we're going to probably smash a bunch of them. But I think it will happen. I think 2024. This seems likely. We're going to aim for sooner than that, but I think I think this is actually doable. Yes.
Thanks. And we have time for one more question. Camden Hall from Talk of Titusville.
Thanks for taking my question. My question is for Elon. Where were you watching the launch from? Were you in the LCC like you were for Demo 2 or somewhere else? Thanks.
Yeah, I was in launch control, and yeah. It's funny. It's the same place, the same launch control at where the lunar missions were launched from. It's pretty wild. It's the same windows, same glass. So it's a little hard to see out at night. During the day, it's a lot easier to see out. The view from the roof is actually better than the view from launch control. But you get to see all the data there. So yeah. I don't know. The future's looking good. I think we're at the dawn of a new era of space exploration.
Thank you again to all of our speakers and to our reporters. That's going to wrap things up for us here. Our Crew 2 mission coverage continues on NASA TV. We'll have live coverage all the way to the International Space Station, including Crew Dragon docking, hatch opening, and the welcome ceremony. Docking is targeting at 5:10 a.m. Saturday, April 24th, with hatch opening at 7:15 a.m. and the welcome ceremony at 7:45 a.m. So stay tuned. Thank you.